Hi there, guys. Ken here, your thrifty apprentice, and welcome back to another Mixed Media Sunday. Today, we are going to be using Inktense by Derwent watercolor pencils to sketch with. We're going to be using Artwell watercolor paints to paint with, which is a pretty new to me paint, only my second time using them in this video. And we are sketching in the DIY watercolor journal that I made and I've been using for Mixed Media Sundays for some time. So I'm going to take the Derwent Inktense pencil. This is sort of the burnt sienna looking color from the 12 pencil set. And I'm just going to sketch out a sunflower. So we are doing sunflowers in this video. And this is in honor of supporting Ukraine for the current situation that is going on in the world today. The Watercolor Beginner and Beyond group, which I rave about all the time on Facebook and work hand in hand with, is doing weekly contests, last week and this week we're doing sunflowers. So I decided to do one on camera and share it with you guys. After taping down my paper and sketching out the sunflower, you saw that I showed you guys a bottle of water. Now that bottle of water actually has salt water in it, and I'm just using that as my clean water in today's composition to try to encourage granulation just in case these paints will granulate. So I started out by doing the middle of the sunflower with the burnt sienna. I'm using a little sap green, and then I'm using a mixture of burnt sienna and ultramarine blue to make it a little darker. And I put that down in the middle of the sunflower in a really heavy wash and added salt so we can get some texture for effect there. Now I'm going to grab some sap green, some azo yellow medium, as well as a mixture of sap green and ultramarine blue to darken that shade for shadow in order to do my leaves and the stalk of my sunflower. So you'll see me go around the top of each leaf, sort of creating a jagged edge with my brush, because sunflower leaves do sort of have a jagged edge on it. And that's done in just the regular sap green. I'm going to paint the middle of each of the leaves with the sap green, a little of the azo medium, and then hitting the bottom of each leaf again with a jagged motion with the mixture of sap green and ultramarine blue. And then I'll grab my credit card scraper. I'm just going to scrape in some veins for each of the leaves. As I told you guys earlier, we're painting a sunflower in honor of Ukraine. I just recently learned that the sunflower is the national flower for that country. And I wanted to try to have fun painting this, sort of stay loose. You guys know I'm a pretty detailed painter. So, I mean, old habits are hard to break. So I do put quite a few details, but I think this painting turned out a lot looser than most of the paintings that I did. And by the time it was all said and done, I did like the way it came out, but there were several stages during the point that I was painting this when, it was in that hot mess stage. And most paintings do go through that little hot mess stage before you get it to where you want. But of course, in mixed media, the great thing is, as long as you're not scared to do it, you can pretty much throw anything at a composition until you get it to look the way that you want it to. While I'm thinking about it, I also wanted to let you guys know this on next Sunday, we will be testing another budget paint set and pencil set in order to continue to see which ones I'm going to select for the registration package for the paint classes. May is right around the corner, so I don't have much time to finish testing, make a decision, get all of the details kinked out and worked out, get advertisement up. So yeah, I have a lot to do over the next 30 days, and I will be sharing most of that with you guys. All right, so now for the leaves of the flower, I started out by taking a mixture of the burnt sienna and ultramarine blue just to darken it a bit. And I went in and dropped that on those back petals for the sunflower, just so there could be some definition there and the petals on front would stand out. Then for each petal, I dropped in a little lemon yellow, as well as and that's actually permanent lemon yellow in this set, and a little of the azo yellow medium. And I let them mix on the paper instead of mixing them on my palette. You guys heard me tell you before, that letting the paints mix on the paper is a great way to keep the purity and vibrancy of the colors. Afterwards, I let that dry just a bit, and then I went back and filled in the rest of the white space with more lemon yellow on top. I'm gonna take that darker green mixture now and go back in and enhance my leaves a little bit. You'll see me put it down the shadow side of the stalk, and then I'm gonna take it and go in to enhance the veining on each leaf and put in the shadow where the leaf would meet the stalk, as well as where the sunflower itself would overlay on top of each of the leaves. And as I add in that shadow color, you will see that it actually makes the flower stand out even more against the leaves in the background. I'll actually take, after that veining dries, I'm going to go back in with just a really watery layer of the sap green by itself, just to enhance the colors on the leaves just a little more. Working on the middle of the flower again. In the very middle, that's that dark mixture of the burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. And then around that, I just took regular burnt sienna and just tapped with my brush in order to create more texture. Now, this is a watercolor brush, and so you want to be careful and gentle with your brush if you're doing that. I really do suggest that you grab one of your golden tack lines or your white tack lines in order to create that texture. But I did it with my watercolor brush, and I was just sure to be really careful with it. Now here you see that's where I'm painting on the watery layer of sap green that I told you guys about. I grabbed my Royal and Langnickel Manta scrubber brush because it's really hard, and we normally use it to lift paint. And I figured to myself that would create some great texture. So I just tapped in on the middle of the sunflower with that, and then darkening that brown mixture a little more with some more ultramarine. I went in to put the shadow color around the center of the flower. Then I'm going to take the lighter brown and outline each of the petals just because I wanted the petals to stand out more against the background. And I think it really made that yellow pop. Now, of course, I love to do some splattering. I'm just going to splatter some green and yellow all over the page just to kind of give it a background because I did not put one in. I'm going to sign and then remove my tape. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, remembering that it gets it in front of more viewers, help the channel grow, along with sharing because it's caring. Use the comment section, let me know what you think, and just keep painting.